Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Sam, and today I'm taking the Interislander Ferry across the Cook Strait from Picton to Wellington. Due to unforeseen circumstances,
Interislander Ferry has run aground in Wellington Harbor.
I've arrived in Picton well ahead of time for my ferry. The ferry runs 4 times a day, 7:30, 11, 2:15 and 6:30. A good spot to see the ferries coming in is the Picton lookout point. And FYI, travelling the van is becoming very handy. Hold that thought. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm really getting used to this van life thing.
For the ferry, you're expected to arrive an hour ahead of scheduled departure and wait in line. The ferry crossing can cost between $67 and $89 for a walk-on, $276 and $334 for a car, or upward of $300 for a van, depending on its size.
You know what I've just realized? I've been sitting in the front the whole time. Should I go back to the lounge?
And once again, waiting in the van is just so much better than waiting in a car.
You know, all it's really missing now is if I could have a movie on as well. Problem solved.
Finally, once the lanes are allowed on, we present our tickets and drive up the ramps onto the ferry. The vehicles are then secured and the passengers walk from the vehicles up to the main decks. Side note, this is where pets are held for transport too. Now for conveying people across the Cook Strait, which is a 3.5-hour journey, the ferry has many spaces for the passengers to rest and recreate, including 3 cafes, a business lounge, which I didn't opt for, but I'm sure it's lovely, multiple seating areas, a gift shop, and in my opinion the best,
Yep, that's a heavy door.
an observation deck that circumferences the back and sides of the ship, and a top level deck. Granted, this weather wasn't the nicest of conditions to be outside, but to me it was what made the experience.
It might be a bit unconventional to sit up here the entire time, but sure would have been nice to have some nicer weather. I mean, yeah, all the lower decks and stuff with little restaurants and cafes and stuff are great, but I don't really feel like going for a restaurant or cafe at the moment, you know what I mean? You know, general nosy around and stuff like that is plenty for me, I think. Now ordinarily, when you're going out through the Marlborough Sounds out here, all the little bays and little islands and stuff, they look really, really cool. However, right now we're going to be going out in the rain and the fog. It's possible we won't see very much.
The loading continued for quite some time before we were finally underway.
Fortunately, the weather ain't improving. There goes Picton, and now we're off through the Marlborough Sounds. I actually kind of like it like this, it's kind of mystical. Ooh. Yep. I mean, it's an experience, isn't it? See, had it been summer and it was nice and sunny and clear and warm, the observation deck here would be absolutely mobbed. The way that it is, it's actually nice and quiet. So, you know, silver linings and things. I didn't count how many people came on board, but turns out there's only one person stupid enough to be up on the observation deck outdoors. That's me.
After about an hour or so, I thought it might be a good idea to go and have a look around the rest of the ship.
Nevermore.
And decided to have a coffee at the quieter of the 3 cafes. But it wasn't long before boredom kicked in, and I had to go back upstairs just in time to see us emerging from the Marlborough Sounds and into the Cook Strait.
And funnily enough, the the weather has cleared up a little bit. Wow. Those rocky shores though look cool. Wow. Bottom of the door just fell off.
Water door, which is on the left-hand side, opposite the reception desk. Thank you.
Oh. They're closing the observation decks because of how dangerous it is.
Not to worry, only the upper decks had closed, and the lower observation deck remained open.
Can you imagine the vast majority of the passengers right now are sitting inside in the warm, nice and dry, drinking a hot chocolate and eating a scone or something. They don't know what they're missing. Once we come around that headland back there, the water calmed down something quickly. This is us now coming into Wellington Harbor. Almost tranquil.
Just before pulling into the dock, they sent all the vehicle passengers back to their vehicles to make disembarkation run a little bit more smoothly. Well, that's the end of the voyage, and also the end of the vlog. To follow the rest of my journey, check out my other videos.